Everybody, welcome back to another recap because this shit is still not done of 90 Day Fiancé.
We got another one!
The other way, right? We're at part 2 of the tell-all, which should be called "No, You Shut the Fuck Up."
No, it should be called "No, Gabe, Shut the Fuck Up."
Yeah, because there are many people that just should shut the fuck up because their houses ain't clean, you know? Or it could also be called Debbie's Charm School.
Just as problematic, just as crazy.
Yes, yes, but I mean, it makes sense of a woman of a particular, of her age and geographic.
It's not
location.
even just the age. Debbie is crazy as cat shit. Like that's just what it is.
Right. So we're cut back to AI boo-hooing and shit.
Hold on.
And Gabe is way too much into the show. He is
he has hosted watch
everybody.
Parties weekly. Yes. He has notes and
like just holding feet to the fire. Like he doesn't like when he's challenged. Mahmoud, because remember last time he walked off, and I am very proud that nobody misgendered or Gabe, even later on with Yohan, and when he was being uncomfortable later on in the episode, everybody was respectful, and I appreciated that.
Yeah, everybody was respectful the whole time.
Kind of. Like unless when it came to their relationships and they were just flat out rude.
Oh yeah, no. I'm talking about as it pertains to Gabe's
social
pronouns.
Justice issues.
Yeah. That was literally, nigga, that applied to nothing else.
Yeah. Because then Danielle comes in, white hot, and I mean white hot, making things about her, right? Because she was saying, I don't even know how she made it into her. I was so confused.
Child, AI was crying, and then Danielle turned around and started crying. She's like, I know, because
Like, this had nothing to do with religion, and if you wanted to bring up religion, please don't. See, this is where we go into the you shut the fuck up.
You shut the fuck up before I go. Because they want a pillow talk. I'll be like, fuck all of y'all's relationship issues. You, traditional African religion.
You come in. We gotta talk.
I'm gonna crack some eggs on her motherfucking I am over it. Do you hear me?
Oh my god.
I'm over her bunny teeth. I'm over her appropriation. I'm over it. Anyway.
Right. So I did not like this narrative about Islam, and I agreed with Mahmoud.
Yeah.
Like we talked about last week, and she's calling him on the phone trying to get him back, and I laughed because he was just cursing and switching. And
he was.
He was just upset because he was like, "You're not gonna play me out to be this way." Like, and we talking about some extreme hypotheticals. We don't have any kids yet, and
that was the biggest irritation for me. Is that she's not even pregnant.
No, not at all. So Mahmoud all of a sudden was like, "You're not supportive of me on this."
He started trying to gaslight old girl. Now, what I will say is this: remember when she was talking to Gabe before all this started, Gabe was telling her his opinions. And she was like, so are you going to tell him?
Right.
She
brought that on.
Mm-hmm.
That was the equivalent of calling the police.
Yeah.
Well, in the sense of like, you know what I mean? Like she instigated this from John.
She did. And then she tried to act like, listen, it was upsetting for her. I don't think that was an act. Why is my mouth watering all of a sudden? I don't think that was an act, but I don't think it was fair for him to gaslight her, but she also fucking asked Gabe if he was going to say all this shit. She knew. I don't think she knew he was going to go that hard.
No, but I kind of agree. She didn't really stand up, but she didn't tell Gabe, you shut the hell up.
Because she wanted him to say that stuff initially.
Yeah. So he comes back on camera ready to fight, via Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "You come back, motherfucker," and in his, way of saying it. Well, actually, no, he did say that. And so he's just mad. And so, AI is just crying and pleading, like, "Come on, I just want everybody to get along." And, the host continues to be ineffective because she did nothing the entire episode but ask about dicks and shit. And I don't want to disrespect, because I'm sure she's a well-known black journalist. I'm sure she has tons of awards from Essence presented by Susan Taylor. You know what I mean? So I don't, I'm sure she's esteemed. I don't want to tear her down, but she is ineffective.
She's kind of useless. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, she's kind of useless. And I'm just irritated that we are not apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anywho, Gabe eventually apologizes because he realizes this is all his fault. And he was just like, "I'm sorry. I was projecting because my daddy is Muslim and so is my stepmama and my other siblings that I don't talk to." So, a trigger, like we said before, or you called it. You were like, "This sounds like somebody's projecting."
Yeah, he was projecting as well.
So, anywho, drag mother Debbie just gets up and just wraps her like...
Oh, I called her Iceberg Debbie. She is funny. That lady does what she wants when she wants.
Listen, when I get to be that age, I plan on doing the exact same thing.
Fuck that age.
40, I'm going full Andre Leon Talley.
Now, now in life. Now in life. I have reached the point where I'm like,
don't care.
I don't care. I don't.
Doing what I want.
Yeah.
Doing what I want.
Mm-hmm. Except stealing.
So,
well, yeah, except stealing.
Depends. I told you, everything comes with a price.
Let me come up for the lick.
Yeah. Real. So, White, Jade and XD come on, and they're like a jump scare. So it's like every time they come on, I'm like, ah!
It's White Beavis. It's White XD.
Yeah.
But, I don't even want to call him White XD.
Yeah, no. We can't even call him White
Beavis.
Jade and XD. Yeah. It's like Beavis and not... Because when did she become Latina? It was so weird.
Who is she?
All of a sudden... No clue.
Was she
I
on
know
another iteration?
I know who the white... I'm sure, because that's how they get involved. But I know who he is. I don't know who she is.
Okay.
Anywho, now it's time to get into Gabe's business. We learned that the cis men folk, because remember we said that, what's her face is asking about dicks and shit.
How's the Bulge business going?
Right, and we learned that the cisgendered men folk are some of his biggest customers. Mm-hmm. Business is booming, if you will.
Yeah.
We get into a lot of uncomfortable dick chat. Jen is, like, well, if we could have padded bras, and
she's not lying.
Danielle, the realest one in the room, was like, that's not gonna work for your girl.
Well, girl, because you fuck a horse every night. When she said it, I also was like, please, no, pipe down. I agree. If we can wear bras and bras that lift and do things, then why can't you do shit for your dick? He should have called it pras. A pra.
A wonder pra.
Wonder pra. Penis.
I mean, I guess I don't know why people do that kind of stuff. Like, just be you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand not wanting, things flailing and stuff. But I mean, when you take it all off, it's still going to be you there, regardless of what your shape and size is. So why not just embrace it? I know that's easier said than done. But, like his intention for his original business idea, that I understand. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, but I mean, I guess it is all gender affirming, right? Like, Wonder bras are gender affirming.
Yeah, they are.
Or penis enlargement, or what the niggas getting now, knee BLs, where they get knee extension surgery. You know, gender affirming. You know.
Yes.
But anyway.
So they asked Isabel if she the boss or if this is a partnership, and she says it's a partnership. Then they invite his homeboy, who
Exhibit.
That works. I don't know who is coming to my mind, but that works for now.
Yeah, I don't have anything else, but Exhibit is the one that's the most.
That could work. Exhibit comes on, Trey. And Trey is messy. Now, Trey is messy and Isabel is very jealous. And we find out that in the course since they've gotten married, that when Trey and Gabe want to hang out, they are only allowed to do so at the crib when she's there. They are not allowed to go out to the club, to the bar, to the function.
They need supervision.
Shindig, nothing. And that may be why he's a little messy. He may be resentful of the fact that, like, I'm a grown man and my friend is grounded. And the only way that I can hang out. And we also find out they are friends as well, which is very...
Listen, I always think of that tweet. Think about the messiest person you know. It's a man, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I
messy bitches.
And I definitely yes. And I kept thinking this the whole time. I'm like, I could see like Isabel, and Isabel explained herself. She was like, "You've proven yourself time and time again that you aren't necessarily the most trustworthy person."
But no, not necessarily, because they all iterated that he was like, I don't try to hook him up with nobody. Now, this is where I say he's messy, because he was like, he pulls people on his own. And he was like, you better clarify what the fuck that means. He's like, people are attracted to him. They are drawn to him. It don't have nothing to do with me. And it's not my responsibility how he acts. I'm single.
I thought he lived with his girl. What I thought.
No, they kept saying he's single.
Oh, well, okay.
He's like, I'm single. I can mingle. He is an adult with his own autonomy, and I don't try to coerce him one way or the other. Like, stop putting this responsibility on me. And I thought that was also fair. And he's like, I'm not a womanizer. And Gabe backed him up. He's like, he's not a womanizer because he's single and he dates women. There's a difference between a womanizer and somebody who is dating and exploring and figuring it out.
Mm-hmm. Now, I did laugh during this segment because my mood was just eating it up that Gabe's feet was to the fire.
What?
He was just, because he did not make any other sound the rest of the whole hour and a half. But here in this moment, he said, gotcha.
Yeah. So, and that was pretty much it with Trey. Like, it was just to come on and have a messy moment with them.
They have no real mess.
Ain't no real mess there. So 90 Day XD, White XD, says that all his Colombian girlfriends have been very jealous, and admittedly so.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna have a pause there.
Listen, I ain't trying to be nothing.
No. Because even me, who knows not the whole story, but who knows that fact, is still like, huh. Yeah.
That nigga said, all my Colombian girlfriends. And I was like...
But you also realize that, because there's one thing to have a type, and there's one thing to fetishize, and then there's also...
there's a thin line.
Yeah, but then there's also a line of, on their side, like, I know I could rob this nigga. Like, you know what I mean? And so not to say that their intention is such, but when I think about Paul and Karini, she could totally take him and rob him. You know what I mean?
I mean...
And I think of, Like this situation, like
I would probably, in another life, bring me back as somebody from another land to fall in love with white American men and rob them. That sounds fun.
Yeah, like a sport.
Motorsport.
Move over, bocce ball. So it's time for Jin and Rishi, which I didn't expect to be so messy and long, but I was thoroughly entertained.
And I can't wait to tell you what entertained me the most.
So we learn that they have spoken, and by spoken, I mean fucked, because they went to a wedding. She went to a wedding that happened to be in India, and he happened to go to the wedding too, and they reconnected, and and all that jazz. Right?
Of course he's going to be at the wedding. Who the fuck does she know in India that he doesn't know?
Probably one of his little friends she was spying on. Keep up, look out for me. That kind of thing.
Maybe
so,
perhaps.
She was like, it was great. He said it was salvation.
I was like, oh, Jen got that snapper.
Yeah.
Or Rishi's nose is wide the fuck open. But regardless, they must have good sexual chemistry. She defends his decision. So they start going into their story, and she defends his decision. She says, "Listen, if the shoe was on the other foot and I was asked to choose between him and my family, that would be a very difficult decision, and I don't think I would be able to choose somebody else over my family." Debbie called him a coward, which was funny.
Where is your passion, Rishi?
And Gabe has more commentary.
He said, Gabe was like, why can't you ever, speak directly? You talk in circles. He was like, and I know, because I do the exact same thing.
Oh, well, that was funny. That was funny.
Yeah, me too. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, they all just like, nigga, just say that you love her and you want to be with her and fuck your family.
Yeah, they're mocking him. Debbie's mocking him like it was very heated. So
yeah, it's a lot of you shut the fuck up, because you have your nigga up there with one eye over here, and then you up here. Gabe don't have no mess. You just being messy.
He just being messy. AI actually had a valid question. She goes, well, when you weigh everything, where does she fall in the hierarchy of what means something to you? Not to say that she is above your family, but where does she fall in that line? And we find out that they are engaged in his eyes, but not in hers. And then here comes Gabe. This is where he was useful. This is the only, because the host was useless in this. This is where he was useful.
They did all time.
Full blown. Gabe said, are you engaged, yes or no? Does your family know you are engaged? Don't tell me nothing else. Is it yes or is it no? And Rishi is trying, but Gabe is doing what literally Jen should have been doing the whole time. What her messy ass interventionist friends did do. Like, he's doing the work. He's annoying, but he's doing the work as it pertains to this. And he gets Rishi to answer the question. No, my family doesn't know. All right, bet. So Kris decides to open her fucking mouth.
Again, moment of you shut the fuck up.
We have not. We are waiting.
I have so many notes and ideas, because it's more reactions than notes that I have. For this.
So Kris is talking about the sacrifices you make for someone you love, and then you want to spend your life with. And Jeymi is over here like, like, fuck, bitch, you shut up. What?
Crying and throwing up because this bitch is lying.
She's like,
she has receipts right here.
She's like, don't you have an opinion on anybody? When I tell you, I was screaming.
Oh, yes. Because then the Sanderson sisters come.
Huh?
Which
it's Halloween.
I did not expect to be thoroughly entertained by them. Normally I hate them, and I still do.
Oh, you mean
But
Lux
again, they were-
Noir London 1 and 2?
Yes. Normally I hate them. But because we have an ineffective host,
Yeah.
they came here and saved the day.
Yeah. Yeah. So they didn't know that Rishi and Jen were back on. They had no clues. Jen has kept that from them, rightfully so. Because A, she looks dumb as hell, and B, if I were your friends and I flew to do all this bullshit, I'd probably be pissed off that you, bitch, you had me fly to India and break up his family and do all sorts of such and such and what your who's it's, and y'all niggas are back together. I don't want to hear nothing about it. But hater bitches 1 and 2, they understand. They're like, listen, fuck that nigga. I don't understand the reconnection, but fuck that, fuck that. And they and the one friend goes, it's never gonna work for them. So I mean, she's an astrologer now.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip over that because interventionist, astrologer. What is Jen now, like a Reiki practitioner?
She's a babalao. What do you mean?
She does energy. You know what kills me when white women be talking about I do energy work? I just be like, oh, we're on YouTube. Don't care. That's an honest opinion.
Sorry, Rebecca, your sage don't affect me, girl.
Yeah. But AI does bring up a valid point that it is very difficult to let go of tradition. Gabe was like, not for me. And I was like, of course, Gabe, it isn't for you. You've abandoned it. You are the poster boy.
I mean, I'm not going to... All the Americans were Americaning hard right now. They were...
Yes.
They were Americaning hard.
But I did think it was a planned attack on Rishi because they did keep, yes, he needed to be held accountable and just like shook it a bit, but I just felt like, you suck, you're a mammy boy, and blah, 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 blah. And it was, because he got like tense and defensive and got mad.
They didn't even hold Osama's feet to the fire the way they held Rishi's feet to the fire.
No, not even Mahmoud.
Or Mahmoud, which, I think because everybody recognizes a few things with Mahmoud. He's young. His is extremely cultural. And this is not me defending him, but I mean, Mahmoud, even in his rigidity, based off of that being the only culture that he knows and trying to understand her culture, he's still making some allotments to try to make this a fair relationship. They're annoying, right? Their biggest thing to me is that she never did her research. She never looked into shit she was doing. She doesn't have a spine. He's young. He's never been in a relationship. But it seems as if both of them actually make some sort of an effort. Some sort of an effort of some type. Rishi been lying and holding Jen's feet to the... been holding Jen up for 3 fucking years. Telling her the same cycle of lies. Oh, just give me more time. Oh, we're just going to make it more comfortable. Oh, blah, 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 blah.
True. So, he, his parents come on.
Yeah.
And, they ask. And I was confused because in the very beginning of the first part of the tell-all, they were like, everybody has a translator so that, people can hear and understand everything that's going on.
Uh-huh.
So now it seems like they turn things on and off. And when I tell you, this part of the whole reunion was so confusing because there was like 17 different languages spoken at one time.
Oh, it was the Tower of Babel. It was.
It was a UN conference.
It was.
Because
it was
we
the
have
reunion of Babel.
English, Hindi, Arabic, Spanish, Appalachian, whatever Kris speaks. You know. Whatever, it was a whole bunch of shit that was spoken. So,
woo! I'm sorry, that was funny to me. Before his family comes on, though, real quick, they also pile on him, asking him if he's been intimate with other women in the course of their break.
Yeah,
he says no, but also, if they weren't together, this don't have shit to do with shit.
It don't nothing like so.
It don't have shit to do with shit. So they go back to the parents, to the uncle and the mom.
Mm-hmm.
The mom is not. I shall not be moved.
Yeah, she's like, "Hi, how are you?" You know,
No.
Auntie Sina, I forgot what's her name, Auntie something. She's like, I'm here.
Yeah,
happy.
I'm here with my lip
Cheesing.
on and my good sorry and what's up.
Mm-hmm.
So they are telling Rishi what to tell his uncle and his mother. No, you need to tell them you are marrying her. Since you told us you engaged or you want to marry her, tell your mother you. So I'm thinking about marrying her. Their translator was also messy, but in a wonderful way. She's like, he said he's thinking about marrying her. Ah, you still ain't said it. Then he starts talking about the engagement being contingent upon their financial obligations and figuring that out, right? He's like, well, we just have to figure out.
He was like, "You will not pressure me into standing up to my mother."
And Mahmoud is like, excuses. He's like, hey, motherfucker, I'm moving to the United States. Like, I'm making money moves. What are you doing? You're making excuses. So they showed a B-roll of the family giving the blessing, taking the blessing back, showing him saying he will choose her over his family. She never saw that. And then him saying he will not choose her over his family. He lied. The conversation between him and his mother. And they go back to the mother and they're like, okay, so, and she's like, listen, let me calm your spirits. So she tells Jin. They let them talk directly. You are a fine lady. Everything about you is amazing. I think you're beautiful. And honestly, I would have said yes, but you and I are the same age.
Yeah.
And my son can't marry his mother.
If you were 6 months, she was just a year older than him, would have been perfect. Welcome, open arms.
She's like, this?
But because
nah.
You and I graduated high school at the same time, and it's just not going to work for your girl. So it cannot happen. And she does all this with a smiling face.
With a smile on her face. Those are the people that you need to be worried about. Okay? Jin is big fucking irritated. And it's not at
She's
the no.
So mad.
It's not at the. It is the fact that this bitch keeps calling her old.
Yeah.
Debbie.
And mind you, she's mad. She's mad, and she gonna be mad toward the part 3 because it carries into next episode.
Where she on FaceTime screaming, "Yo, bitch ass mama!" So, I died too, and Debbie was like, "You're so cold hearted, man."
Right.
Woo!
Yeah.
So they put Rishi in the barbecue grill and say, tell them right now that we're getting married in a year to a year and a half. Say it now. You say it just the fuck like that.
Yeah.
And I fucking
they were
died.
threatening him with like White Castle. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I will give you
force
endless
you to
diarrhea for the rest of your days. The translator. Okay, he said it.
Yeah. Because remember the translator came in before because remember his mama had no idea that they were, back together, and the translator was like, I don't think she knows what's going on. Should I tell her?
They're like, no, just let it play out how it's gonna play out. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So before the Sanderson sisters are let go, like I said before, they are in their Lux Noir London era. Mm-hmm. Useless host says, okay, do y'all got anything else to say before I let you all go? Just a couple things. We got some commentary on everybody else.
They released a scroll. It's like, here, I have notes.
They were like, Danielle, we want to fuck your nigga and his giant cow dick. They were like, you are a bitch for not.
For emasculating him.
I was, listen, yes, we have talked about this, but I was they didn't have no smoke for him though. Like, it didn't go both ways.
Nobody has,
it did not go both ways. And I was like, bruh, this is kind of wild. Like, this nigga was up here wilding. Now, I know we have more stuff coming next episode. But when they held her feet to they did not do it to him at all. They were like, no, girl, you walked around with his cojones and your fucking fanny pack. Mm-hmm. And she's like, are you fucking for real? Then she said some wild shit. I'll give in to the patriarchy when he pays all the bills. And I was like, yes, I don't want to give into no patriarchy. Like, I don't need no head of household. But girl, like, neither one of y'all have to be.
Right, and also you can't say that shit on TV. You know what I mean? Like, even if you do think that, don't say that shit on TV.
Listen, because I'll respect you when you ain't a broke boy no more. Like, what the?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
T. But still,
listen.
I can't say publicly I agree with her because I don't. But
I don't. Patriarchy.
Don't.
Put it over here. It's not necessary.
There needs to be equality in the household, like not because of patriarchy's sake, but because of the fact that like you're not gonna just do nothing now, to contribute to this household.
You up in this crib donating $65 a month. I will tell you this: you don't get to tell me nothing. And when I say nothing, I'm gonna be your partner. I'm not gonna I won't emasculate you. But you don't get to tell me nothing. Let's just be very clear. But I'm also not defending this white woman in this traditional African religion. I'm just not doing it.
Right. So Debbie also agreed, but I also think permission to speak out of turn.
Yeah, granted.
Sometimes, women be siding with men for the sake of, I don't want to say competition, but it's like, why are you going out of your way to, because it's like they all went out of their way to comment on Danielle.
I don't love the pick me term, right? I don't love the term pick me, but also pick me. Like, it is, I'm sorry. Yeah. And that's how they was acting. Because if you gonna have smoke for one, have smoke for
both of them.
Like this nigga here. Have smoke people. For everybody in the fucking neighborhood. Like, if you're gonna have it for, and especially when we have watched them both, play around on this TV, call them both out for their fuck ass behavior. Don't just call the woman out, and you ain't calling a nigga out for his bullshit either. Like, that ain't it. That ain't it right there.
That's not it. Mm-mm. No. But they go back to the Interior Illusions Lounge.
Untucked.
And and back in Untucked, Jen is still pissed about the age. And it's all awkward because Danielle got to sit next to the host that called her evil.
I know.
And they're eating like Sodexo lunches, so whatever. Mm-hmm. And Debbie is, spewing life wisdoms from, I'm sure, from a future like chapbook.
She's like, oh, he's slippery.
Then they have girl talk with Gabe, plus Gabe, because niggas are messy.
Yeah.
And, they're all talking about who they hate and blah, 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 blah.
But then we find out they did what you hate. Off camera, homegirls went and started doing a little investigation around Jaipur. Okay? And they start asking niggas around Jaipur about Rishi. What's up with this nigga here? Do you know this man?
Yeah.
And
what can you tell me about him?
Right. And they're like, and they said, now granted, I don't know how much I believe. They just, them two there.
I take everything with a grain of salt.
A grain. But they said they did not hear good things about him around Jaipur. He doesn't have a good reputation as far as it pertains to dealing with dating and women. And everybody was like, oh, tell your friend to stay away. He's a problem. So that vapid, like, that may be a huge act. And Rishi may be a giant hoe. We don't know.
Right. So Pillow Talk is back, but they actually bring back people we enjoy.
Yeah.
Hot Gay Dads is back for the dick talk.
They seem so happy
because we have an extensive dick chat again about Gabe's Wang and just Wangs in general. Jenny and Samir are back. It was nice to see them. Alexi and Lori, I like them. They're from the very first season of 90 Day Fiancé.
Alexi and Lori. Which one were they?
Lori had a bit of it. The very, the tall white man in the bed with the, she white. But, yeah.
Was he, what is he, like Serbian or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's there. I actually like them. They're quite fun.
Based off of literally one clip I saw from the next episode, I fully agreed with him. He was talking about Rishi's mother, and he was like, y'all, she don't give a fuck about your PC culture. She was like, that bitch don't care about calling her old. Like, get off it. She ain't gonna change.
Yeah. That's like when black people, like, when they call each other big or whatever, when they call you big, there's no qualms about it. Like, and we should stop that.
Even though aunties need to stop fucking doing that, because you're ruining children every time they walk in the house for a holiday and you speaking on they fucking weight. Like, quit.
Knowing damn well you just as big, if not bigger.
But this is all about all of the couple's sex life minus Mahmoud and Nicole, because I feel like Mahmoud ain't doing that. No, religious wise. No. I screamed when they asked Debbie about nights in Casablanca. She was like,
she had her on this land speech.
Osama wishes.
Yeah, she has this on this land speech because she's telling everybody because she ain't had none in 14 years because it's special and not to give it away. And all the ladies are like, yes, that is true. Yes, real empowerment conference tea.
Yeah, and I was over here like,
girl,
I am off that flower business. Like, listen.
Let me tell you something. If I am 67 and had a vagina, because gay sex, you stop after 40. But after, if I was Debbie and I had, my muffin still intact, balls to the wall. Even she says she prefers a seasoned gentleman.
She says she likes it. She's like, this young shit is not my zhuzh. It's not my
get some nigga that she too could enjoy an early bird special with.
Yeah.
Like, I get that.
But this gift and treasure business, I know this is like a source of contention because of what we have been taught as a society. I'm not saying to go spread it around like mustard. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying go go give the nani to everybody. Everybody don't deserve the nani. But what I'm saying is this like flower business. It's a treasure. Your pussy is Fort Knox. Like I do not agree.
Yeah, and you do what you want to. You
do what you want to do with yours, and that is where it begins and ends.
Then. This exposes, I get, 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 like common ignorance about certain things because yes, I too am ignorant about the next conversation.
Mm-hmm.
However, Danielle is dumb AF.
I did not know she was so ignorant.
Yeah, like she Danielle equates gender affirming surgery to a BBO.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll go there. And they go into a very in-depth conversation about Gabe's medical transition.
And the only person who really she did ask how the process goes, but the only person who asked a medical question was Jeymi.
Mm-hmm.
The only person who asked a question about the actual procedure was Jeymi. Everybody else was like, "Oh, the gates are open. Well, we might as well."
Yeah.
And I was like, "All right, y'all. Like this ain't."
They were all interested in just dick chat because they're all horny. Whereas Jeymi was like, I don't really like dicks like that. I care about you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And but also Jeymi had to gear up and get ready because she had to curse out.
Because she was next.
Her witch. So speaking of, it's time for Kris and Jeymi. And everybody hates Kris.
Like, everybody hates Kris.
And they don't make any... Even Mahmoud was disgusted with her. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Kris tries to explain her actions with the physical altercation of pushing Jeymi out the van. And she was like, you know, when I get angry, I black out. And everybody was like, no. That's not what you do.
Mm-mm.
And so Jeymi was like, I fell in love with the scam. You know, who I fell in love with is not the person who I thought.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now.
Break down the numbers.
Christina, you already know.
Uh-huh.
They asked Kris how much money she has sent to Jeymi. She said somewhere around $10,000, a little over. They asked Jeymi how much money Kris has sent to her. She said $1,150. She said, I have one wire transfer for 1 month of rent, and I will show it to you all. It was for $746. Kris proceeds to let us know that she only sent one transfer from that bank account. She sent them from other places as well, including her mother. Lies! Then this bitch tells us, hold on. She blames it on the cost of the apartment. Girl, we've already discussed the cost of the apartment. And this $150 additional, we have already agreed that Jeymi, that was not right, and she should have been held responsible for that $150. When you add up that $150 over the course of 5 months, it ain't what you sent, booby-doo. It's not.
No.
And it's not just about the money. It's not about the fact of someone trying to be a sugar mama or any of those things. You are lying all over the place. She accuses Jeymi of cheating on her twice. Says the second time that she found out Jeymi was cheating on her, she left work. She flipped her car, got in a car accident. She died for 5 minutes. They had to put the fucking poof poof on her. She broke her neck all over again. Her foot fell off and they sewed it back on. She got a cold somewhere in between, like...
Mm-hmm. She got colitis, bursitis, and
cholera,
laryngitis,
diphtheria. Like, all of my ox died on my trail across America. It was...
hepatitis A through J.
It was everything. Me big dysentery, COVID, Delta, Omicron, and everything else in between,
Bubble
all at the
guts,
same time.
Everything.
That was... And everything about them is, like, their discrepancies are wild. And the only person who's providing any written thing is Jeymi. She's like, Jeymi's like, this lady disappeared on me for a month. We talked about that. They discussed that in the season. Kris acknowledged that she disappeared for a month. She acknowledged that. She felt bad for that. And then she tried to use like, when was it when Jamie's grandmother passed away? She acknowledged that she disappeared for a month. Here on this reunion, Jamie says she disappeared for a month. Kris says she disappeared for 5 fucking days. Like, all of us wasn't watching the same show.
Right? This is why I wish they had Bravo editors, because they would have brought back, like, all the moments she has voluntarily told us how long she was gone, why she was gone, everybody
why
corroborating
Jamie started talking to somebody else because
the story. When she had her makeup got in full drag with her gays, confirmed that story then on her wedding day that bitch was gone for a month. And here you appear, sitting up here on You Shut the Fuck Up Part 2, telling us that you were only gone for 108 hours. No. I don't buy it. No.
And the only person who bought it was Debbie. Debbie calls Jamie a predator. Do I think Jamie was slightly lazy? Yes, I've said that.
Yes.
She was. Yes. She was slightly lazy. But clearly...
But she was also promised some other shit, too.
Right. And clearly she wasn't as lazy as we thought. Aside from having to borrow money, she had to figure out something to pay all those months of rent so she wouldn't be homeless. Houseless.
Yeah. And now she in debt paying 300,000 pesos a month to get whatever that shit is off her credit report.
And Kris keep trying to blame it on an additional $150 a month. No. And that $150 a month apparently like cancels out everything else, and now I don't have to do shit. You got down there. You already are flip-floppy. That's the thing about Kris. Let's talk about Kris. Kris is flip motherfucking floppy. She can't make a fucking decision. She can't stand in a fucking decision. She was getting ready to steal from her dead daddy by selling his fucking motorcycle.
Talk about it.
Until his ass haunted her and made sure that shit didn't happen. Unless that was another lie, because that could have very well been a lie as well. You got down there. You realized you didn't have no fucking plan. You told this bitch you was getting ready. You promised her, I can give you the world. You got down there and told her and wooed her and did all of this shit. Told that lady, go ahead, quit that job so we can spend all this time together. Did the whole U-Haul business, and then realized that you couldn't keep it up, like hardly at all. So you had to go back and work. Then your boy went to jail. And then you realized, oh, this is too much for me, so now I'm going to cause chaos and drama to make sure that I don't look crazy. But you look crazier.
Yeah.
Fuck Kris. Kris is...
I don't like her. And I don't like the fact that, you know, again, Jamie's all sorts of B's and H's because she won't listen. But you don't allow her to talk because you're not there for her to listen.
Yep. And that's they called Kris also on that shit she does. They were like, look, when we start holding her accountable, she starts using something else.
She runs just like what's his face? You know, and it's even worse.
It's worse because she takes zero accountability for how she contributes to the negativity within that relationship. Right. That didn't have to go as south as it did. It did not have to go as south as it did.
Right. Because they're both like, we're done. There's no relationship. There is no more relationship.
And Debbie's projecting because she was about to be used for a visa. So she automatically thinks that her son got all up in her head. Well, if they're American, then you're using them. Girl, Debbie, pipe down there. Pipe down there.
Yeah.
I wanted to snatch Kris by her nose. Honestly, I wanted to snatch her by her nose and drag her by her nostrils, which wouldn't have been
that was some brazen audacity. Like, and what killed me was that car accident, and it flipped over, and I don't buy it. Listen, I watched Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and Erica Jane told us the same scenario with Tom Girardi. So I just don't buy any of that.
I also don't buy nobody you already told who calls their complications and things that are happening health injuries. What the fuck is a health injury, bitch? What in the fuck is a health injury?
Yeah. Well,
we close it out because Jamie drops another bomb and it's like, oh, by the way, I have more receipts. She's like, Kris been fucking her ex nigga, and he's been sending me pictures of them fucking and her naked body, and so forth and so on.
So, next week on Prehistoric Predators, we'll find out, what happens. And that was them.
That was the tell-all part 2. We will see you all hopefully for the final. There's no way this thing is more than 3 parts.
If there is, I am effing quit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm done.
Y'all gonna have to read it off of Reddit somewhere.
I'm done.
But
or y'all tell
that's
us.
it, y'all.